the pproteus back for round 3. This is a very interesting hand. One of those borderline, wish I knew who I was playing against type hands. I have a 1-drop, I have a second 1-drop, I have 2 rankers, which in many matchups are as good as the 1-drop. I have a 5th 1-mana spell, and then I have a 2-drop creature. I'm going to keep this hand. I may regret keeping it, depending on what's going on. Alright, looks like some kind of Tron deck. I don't think I've actually played against a Chromatic Sphere Tron deck in quite a while. That's the Fangren Marauder type. A Tree of Tales. Yeah, I'm not too sure what this is. Opponent stepped out. Maybe now is the time that I rank her. My goal is to deal a lot of damage in the early few turns. So not having a second land really hurts me here. At least my opponent is nowhere near Tron. Okay, maybe a little bit near Tron. Another crop rotation and he has it. And he's gonna like Fangren Marauder me on turn 3. Okay. So makes my start look pretty pitiful. Maul Splicer. Man. So he's gonna block with Golem. I'm just gonna play Nettle Sentinel on tap. Force him to trade. Oh yeah, sweet. Maybe I shouldn't kill this because his plan is to then graph it back. Does that actually make any sense? I mean, I definitely have to kill the Golem. I don't think he's acting like he has spin graph, he's just playing around in Gen Growth. Like, it's not like he can Fang Graph play the 7-drop right away. Yeah, he's got a Crusher. Okay, so my opponent has a nut draw, and I had a pretty bad draw. So, yeah, not much I can do about this. I can play some rankers, sack the rankers to the Crusher, so I don't lose any permanents. But he's attacking me with an 8/8. I'm just gonna concede here. So, I don't usually bring in Artifact Destruction against Tron, but I saw Tree of Tales. So, natural states for sure coming in. Lethal Sabotage, maybe. Relics coming in because I like Relic against Tron decks. Probably side out. Young Wolf, side out. Pump spells. Riverbow is probably mediocre. I'll keep 1. I don't want to bring in too much because it doesn't necessarily have a lot. But yeah, that Tree of Tales is like, what's he trying to do? So I don't really know how my opponent's deck works yet, but apparently it makes 9 mana on turn 4. That's gonna be hard to beat. This hand gets to attack for a 6 on turn 3. So, like, it's because it gets itself out there so fast, I'm really tempted. But 4 land hands are bad. They're bad. My opponent probably is not going to have turn 3 Tron most of their games. And against a slow deck like Tron, Burning Tree Emissary is just great. I'm going to kill him on turn 4. Even if I just draw lands. Okay, Colony Garden is actually relevant here. I hope I draw something that's just not lands, not Carrion Ranger. I'll be fine with basically anything that isn't one of those. I've got to cast Ranker here. And I'm casting the Burning Tree after combat, so I get to untap the Nettle Sentinel. Okay, opponent's not dead on board. Fierce Empath. You could totally cast Maul Splicer next turn. If I draw Vines, I just win, right? That's not a Vines. So I'm going to hope my opponent doesn't have a Fog. Because that's what they need. They need a Fog, or they lose. Even Tron Peace Maul Splicer doesn't do it. Alright, so that was... Somebody was asking on Reddit recently about mulligan decisions, and I remember someone answering, not on that thread, but in an earlier thread, that always mulligan 4 land hands. I think that 4 land hand was correct to keep, and it paid off. So, yeah, Stompy's actually a hard deck to play, turns out. Who knew? This is not looking like the kind of match that Relic or Longbow are good in. So maybe I just want a Groundswell. I haven't seen any graveyard interaction out of him. Longbow can still be good because he stalls up with the Maul Splicer, and then Longbow lets me hit in for the last 4 points of damage or whatever. Alright, so after 2 extremely lopsided games, here is game 3. Joe, I wish this were a Relic. I wish it were anything else. I wish it were a Young Wolf, honestly. So maybe that was not correct. I have to keep this hand. But I'm not happy about some of its deficiencies. I wish I had more creatures, so maybe siding out that Menaced Invader was a very terrible idea. Ancient Stirrings gets a Tron piece, gets a Chromatic Sphere. And that's not a Chromatic Star, that's a Chromatic Sphere. So I'm just going to natural state it. I think that's hilarious. I'm giggling away over here at the ability to make him basically discard a card or skip his draw step. Also, now he's short on colored mana. I don't know how I'm going to turn this hunger on, but I would like to. Maybe he will block with the plant. Yeah, okay. I like that. I have to put the Hunger on the Vault Scourge because Nettle Sentinel may have trouble untapping. I now have 7 power on the board. I can kill him in 2 turns if he doesn't do anything. He doesn't have any... I don't know what colors are available in this deck. He's probably one of those rug Tron builds from like a year ago that disappeared when Pulse of Marasa came out. Okay. So 7 to 11. So Groundswell plus Vines is not enough. I think also no 4th land makes me feel very happy about my choice to natural states instead of putting an extra power on the board. I'm going to play a land. I'm going to Groundswell. I'm going to Groundswell after attackers. I'm going to Groundswell targeting the Nettle Sentinel in case he has a natural state or a gut shot or a takedown or something like that. Like, I don't know. I don't expect any of those to be here, but I didn't expect to be playing against this deck, so I will play around things. So if he does have something like Vines, I don't really want to cast Vines. I would rather cast my River Boa. Now he has to do something. Of course, he could have, fogs or whatever. Fierce Empath, nah, that's not good enough. You need a land. Fierce Empath for Wretched Griff. Yeah, that's game. What could he have? He could have Gut Shot. Yeah, no, he just concedes. Okay. So, that was 3 very fast games. See you in the next round.